With Trump firing probationary workers and Musk infiltrating even more of our personal data to sell off if he chooses, now is the time to know what's going on and to know what you can do about it.
A $2 billion grant to a Stacey Abrams-linked nonprofit with only $100 in the bank. Is this a swamp creature move or a legitimate investment? Democrats always talk about government efficiency. But what happens when the scrutiny turns to them? We're talking Stacey Abrams and a potential $2 billion scandal.
EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin says he's on a mission to track down billions of dollars that were either misspent or parked in accounts meant to boost liberal activists. The latest focus is on a nonprofit with ties to former Georgia Democratic gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams. The Free Beacon says the EPA is looking to where some $2 billion ended up. The Beacon writing out in their story that they have been looking into whether or not this money through the Powered Forward communities received the green energy grant, despite the fact that it was founded months earlier in late 2023 and never managed anywhere near the grant's dollar figure. Now, Abrams just this week was pretty vocal on X, saying she's no fan of these DOGE cuts. We'll look to see if this group responds to the accusation about the money being misspent.
First they hated him, now they hate both of you.
Well, I think we're seeing an antibody reaction from those who are receiving the wasteful and fraudulent money.
They're being exposed.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be exposed.
I'll tell you a lesson I learned at PayPal. You know who complained the loudest, and the quickest and the loudest and with the most amount of righteous indignation? The fraudsters. That's who complained first, loudest, and they would generally have this immense overreaction. That's how we knew they were the fraudsters. Mm-hmm. That's how we knew.
Now, President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from DOGE back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID. That was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us, because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once in a lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime, because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
He's doing a very thankless job. It's really a thankless job. But he's helping us to save our country. Our country was in serious trouble. And I had to get the best guy, somebody with credibility, because if he were just a regular, good, very good, solid businessman, he wouldn't have the credibility. He's got the best credibility for this. And people also know he's an honest guy. He's an honest guy. He's just a very, very smart guy who's done amazing things. And this will be the biggest thing he's ever done. Because, you know, his companies are all great. But if this country goes bad, I guess where he is a little selfish is this. He knows one thing and probably doesn't think. But if this country goes bad, his stuff is not going to be worth very much, I can tell you.
Like I say, if the ship of America sinks, we're all going down with it.
Before we proceed, let's set the record straight. This is my analysis, my perspective. I'm committed to delivering facts, yet I aim to highlight what I perceive as a glaring double standard in hypocrisy within the Democratic Party. The alleged scandal, a deep dive. Recently, allegations have surfaced regarding a $2 billion taxpayer-funded scandal potentially involving Stacey Abrams. The core of the issue revolves around a non-profit organization called Power Forward Communities, which reportedly has close ties to Abrams. According to reports, this organization received a substantial grant shortly after its inception. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin and the Department of Government Efficiency are reportedly on a mission to track down billions of dollars that were either misspent or parked in accounts meant to boost liberal activists. Their investigation is focused on how this money ended up with Power Forward Communities. Power Forward Communities was only a few months old and had a mere $100 in its bank account when it was granted $2. I'm billion in 2024. The organization's website lists partnerships with 2 other nonprofits, both founded by Stacey Abrams. Abrams also serves as a senior counsel for Rewiring America, which leads a coalition of groups including Power Forward Communities. Just months before Joe Biden left the White House, Stacey Abrams created a brand new nonprofit organization with only $100 in the bank that miraculously got a $2 billion federal grant. It has been said there were no strings attached. My critique and opinion, unpacking the hypocrisy. This is where the coffee gets cold. We consistently hear prominent Democrats expressing concerns over government spending, the influence of figures like Elon Musk, as a need for stringent government efficiency. Abrams has been vocally against the Department of Government Efficiency. Yet there appears to be a stark contrast when similar scrutiny is directed toward their own affiliations and actions. It's been reported that groups tied to Abrams received a $2 billion federal grant. Meanwhile, leading voices within the Democratic Party express outrage over potential misuse of funds in other contexts. Where is the consistency? I find it difficult to reconcile the fervent criticism leveled at figures like Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency with the apparent ease with which substantial grants flow to organizations linked to prominent Democrats. Is there a double standard at play here? Drawing an analogy, it's like Abrams and other Democrats are sneaking around amidst all the chaos and filling their pockets with as many gold coins as they possibly can. The reason why all of these corrupt Democrats are freaking out right now is because they know they're all slowly getting exposed and that the taxpayer-funded racket is coming to an end. The hypocrisy angle, examining the statements. Let's not forget the statements made by Democratic House Representative Jasmine Crockett. She criticized the idea of returning savings to Americans as a dividend, alleging that there simply isn't enough money available. Al Crockett stated that Democrats aren't in the business of giving out free money, but that is only true when it comes to hardworking Americans. The Democrats are happy to give away free money to foreign countries, illegal immigrants, or to themselves via corrupt federal grants. The Democrats are happy to give money away to illegal immigrants, but helping Americans is a waste of money. I observe a recurring pattern. Democrats are often quick to cast aspersions and criticisms, yet they seem reluctant to address comparable issues within their own political sphere. Conclusion: I'm thankful that corruption is finally being exposed. It's crucial to maintain accountability across the political spectrum, irrespective of party affiliations. In the words of President Trump, Elon Musk is doing a very thankless job. It's truly a thankless job, but he's helping us to save our country. Share your perspectives in the comments below. Do you perceive a sense of hypocrisy emanating from the Democratic Party? Is Stacey Abrams facing undue scrutiny? I'm eager to hear your thoughts. Remember to like this video and subscribe to Black Coffee for additional commentary and discussions. Peace.